Chapter 1 New Year, New Resolve. Ryan Trenton woke up to the sound of his phone buzzing against the nightstand like an angry bee. He squinted at the screen, groaning at the brightness. Happy New Year. The notification banner declared cheerfully, as if mocking his hangover and his single status. Happy New Year to you too, he muttered, voice gravelly. Then, louder than intended, still single, still pathetic. The words hung in the air like smoke. Ryan froze. Had he said that out loud? He glanced around his apartment. Empty, thank God. No witnesses except the dying fern in the corner, which looked judgmental enough. He swung his legs off the bed and padded to the kitchen, where a lone coffee pod waited like a tiny promise of salvation. As the machine sputtered to life, Ryan stared at his reflection in the microwave door. 34 years old, analyst by trade, honest to a fault, and unlucky in love in ways that would make a rom-com protagonist look like Casanova. His phone buzzed again. A text from Maya, his colleague and unofficial life coach. Maya, Happy New Year, Resolutions? Please tell me you're finally going to stop ghosting dating apps. Ryan snorted. He typed back, Ryan, ghosting implies I ever matched with anyone. My love life is like a desert, dry, lifeless, occasionally visited by tumbleweeds. He hit send, then opened another chat, his friend Alex. Ryan to Alex, thinking of quitting corporate slavery this year. If I have to sit through one more meeting about synergy, I'll throw myself into a shredder. Satisfied, he tossed the phone on the counter and sipped his coffee. A minute later, the phone buzzed again. He glanced at the screen and felt his soul leave his body. Janet, boss Ryan Shredder? Are you okay? Oh no. Ryan's voice cracked like a teenager's. He grabbed the phone, heart pounding. He hadn't sent that to Alex. He'd sent it to Janet, his boss. The woman who signed his paychecks and had the emotional range of a tax auditor. He typed furiously, Ryan, sorry, autocorrect. I meant, Happy New Year. Hope you're enjoying synergy. He stared at the message, horrified. Hope you're enjoying synergy? Who says that? He considered throwing the phone into the coffee maker and claiming an electrical fire as an excuse for quitting life. Before he could spiral further, another ping, Janet. Right? Happy New Year, Ryan. Ryan exhaled like he'd just survived a shark attack. He slumped into a chair, muttering, Great start to the year, champ. By noon, Ryan had showered, dressed, and convinced himself that the shredder incident would blow over. He opened his laptop, pretending to check emails but really scrolling through dating apps. His profile stared back at him. Ryan, 34. Analyst. Honest to a fault. He grimaced. Honest to a fault sounded like a warning label. He hovered over the edit button, then shook his head. No. Honesty was non-negotiable. If someone couldn't handle the truth, they didn't respect him. And if they didn't respect him, he had better things to do, like alphabetizing his spice rack. His thoughts were interrupted by a group chat notification. Maya. So, big plans for 2026? Derek. He's finally gonna get a girlfriend. Calling it now. Ryan. Bold of you to assume anyone wants this level of chaos. Maya. Chaos is sexy. Own it. Derek. Step 1. Stop blurting your thoughts in meetings. Ryan. Not a habit. It's accidental honesty. Maya. Accidental honesty is still blurting. Ryan chuckled. This was why he liked his colleagues. They teased him, but never cruelly. Maya was sharp, Derek was ridiculous, and together they made the office bearable. He typed, Ryan, fine. Resolution. I'll try dating again. Happy now? Maya, ecstatic. Derek owes me $20. Derek. Wait. There was a bet. Ryan shook his head, smiling despite himself. Maybe this year wouldn't be so bad. Maybe he'd even meet someone who appreciated brutal honesty and didn't mind the occasional verbal slip. He raised his coffee mug in a mock toast to the empty room. Here's to new beginnings, he said. And then, louder than intended. And hopefully fewer texts to my boss about shredders. The fern looked unimpressed. Chapter 2, Coffee Catastrophe. Ryan had a theory. Coffee shops were the Switzerland of social interaction. Neutral ground. No pressure. Just caffeine and humanity. Which was why, on the second Saturday of January, he found himself standing in line at Been There, Done That, a name that sounded like it was trying too hard, much like Ryan on dating apps. He scanned the chalkboard menu, pretending to deliberate between a latte and a cappuccino, though his brain was busy rehearsing small talk. Hi, I'm Ryan. No, I'm not a serial killer. Yes, I'm single. Please don't run away. Next, the barista's voice snapped him out of his spiral. She was young, tattooed, and sporting an expression that said she'd seen every flavor of awkward humanity. Ryan stepped forward, cleared his throat, and ordered a plain black coffee. Safe, uncomplicated, like his dating history minus the safe part. As he waited, his phone buzzed. Group chat again. Maya. Any progress on Operation Data Human? Derek. He's probably still at home alphabetizing his spices. Ryan. I'll have you know I'm in a coffee shop, which is basically foreplay for introverts. He hit send, then immediately regretted the phrasing. Before he could dwell on it, someone brushed past him, and his coffee nearly took a nosedive. He He turned and froze. She was laughing. At him? No, at something on her phone. But the sound was warm, like sunlight through blinds. Shoulder-length chestnut hair, a navy coat, and eyes that flicked up just as Ryan's brain decided to short-circuit. Sorry, she said, steadying his cup with a quick hand. Didn't mean to cause a caffeine casualty. Ryan blinked. Words. He needed words, preferably ones that didn't make him sound like a malfunctioning robot. No casualties. Just minor turbulence. She smiled, and Ryan's internal monologue went into overdrive. Wow, she's gorgeous. Like, unfairly gorgeous. Probably has a boyfriend. Or a fan club. Or both. And then, because the universe hates him, he said it out loud. You're probably taken. Her eyebrows shot up. Excuse me? Ryan's soul left his body for the second time this month. That wasn't what I meant was, he flailed, words tumbling like dominoes. You seem like someone who wouldn't be single. Not that being single is bad. I'm single. Very single. Chronically single. The barista slid his coffee across the counter like she was delivering a mercy kill. Ryan grabbed it, wishing it were strong enough to erase the last 30 seconds. The woman tilted her head, amused rather than offended. That's an interesting opener. Ryan swallowed hard. Sorry. I have this thing where I think stuff and then accidentally say it. Out loud. She laughed. A real laugh this time, not phone-induced. Honesty policy? Ryan blinked. What? You know, like a no-filter rule. Oh, sort of. I believe honesty is respect. If someone lies to you, they don't respect you. Math is simple. She studied him for a beat, then smiled. That's refreshingly weird. She extended a hand. Emma. Ryan stared at her hand like it was a live grenade, then shook it. Ryan. Nice to meet you, Ryan who blurts things. He chuckled, nerves loosening a fraction. Nice to meet you, Emma who causes minor turbulence. Her smile widened. Touché. They ended up sharing a table, mostly because the place was packed, but Ryan pretended it was fate. Conversation flowed surprisingly well, punctuated by Ryan's occasional verbal slip-ups, which Emma seemed to find entertaining rather than alarming. Half an hour later, his phone buzzed again. Maya, status update. Did you talk to anyone? Derek. Bet he chickened out. Ryan smirked and typed. Ryan. Talking to someone right now. And she hasn't run away yet. Emma glanced at his screen and grinned. Friends keeping tabs? Something like that, Ryan admitted. They think I'm hopeless. Are they wrong? Ryan considered that, then shrugged. Depends on how this goes. Emma laughed again, and Ryan thought maybe, just maybe, this year was off to a better start than he deserved. Chapter 3 Office Diplomacy. Monday mornings were Ryan's personal purgatory. The fluorescent lights, the hum of printers, the smell of burnt coffee. It all conspired to remind him that adulthood was a scam. He slid into his cubicle, powered up his computer, and prayed for a quiet day. No meetings, no drama, just spreadsheets and silence. The universe, as usual, laughed in his face. Morning, Maya's voice chirped from behind him. She leaned against his cubicle wall, a vision of confidence in a crimson blazer. So, rumor has it you were spotted at being there. Done that on Saturday. Ryan froze mid-keystroke. Rumor? What is this, high school? Relax. Maya grinned. I just happened to see your Instagram story. Coffee cup. Vague caption. Suspiciously cheerful vibe. Ryan groaned. It was coffee, Maya, not a marriage proposal. Yet. Derek appeared like a bad penny, balancing a donut on a napkin. So, was she cute? Ryan opened his mouth to deflect, and promptly betrayed himself. She was gorgeous. Both colleagues grinned like cats who'd found the cream. Ryan realized too late that he'd said it out loud, not in his head. Again. Gorgeous, huh? Maya's eyes sparkled. Name? Emma, Ryan muttered, wishing for a trapdoor under his chair. Emma. Derek rolled the name around like he was tasting wine. Sounds classy. What's her deal? Ryan shrugged. I don't know. We talked. She laughed at my honesty thing. Your honesty thing? Maya raised an eyebrow. You know, the whole lying equals disrespect philosophy. Ryan waved a hand. She didn't run away, so that's promising. Maya smirked. Promising enough for a second date? Ryan hesitated. Maybe. If I don't scare her off first. You're adorable when you panic, Maya said, patting his shoulder. Just try not to blurt out her tax bracket or something. Ryan sighed. Noted. By mid-morning, Ryan had buried himself in quarterly reports, blissfully ignoring the world, until Janet's voice sliced through the office hum. Team, quick heads up. Their boss stood near the glass conference room, her expression as neutral as ever. We have a consultant joining us for the next few weeks. She'll be working on the client engagement strategy. Ryan barely registered the words until Janet stepped aside and gestured toward the doorway. And there she was, Emma. Same chestnut hair, same warm smile, though now paired with a sleek navy dress and a laptop bag slung over her shoulder. Ryan's brain short-circuited so hard he nearly deleted an entire spreadsheet. Hi, everyone, Emma said, voice smooth as caramel. Looking forward to working with you. Ryan's internal monologue screamed. Of course she's here. Because fate is a sadist. And then, because Ryan's mouth was a traitor, he whispered, audibly, "You've got to be kidding me." Emma's gaze flicked to him, amused recognition lighting her eyes. "Ryan," she said like they were old friends. "Small world." Maya's head whipped around so fast Ryan worried about whiplash. Derek choked on his donut. Janet, oblivious, continued, "Emma will need access to the analytics dashboard. Ryan, you're our point person." Ryan swallowed hard. "Sure. No problem. No problem except for the fact that I'm about to die of embarrassment." 10 minutes later, Emma was perched on the edge of Ryan's desk, reviewing login credentials while Maya and Derek hovered like vultures pretending to be helpful. "So," Emma said, typing briskly, "you're the data guy." Ryan nodded. "That's me. Data guy. Numbers, charts, existential dread." Emma laughed softly. "Honesty policy still in effect?" Ryan winced. "Always." Maya's eyes widened. "Wait, she knows about that?" Emma glanced at Maya, smiling. "He explained it at the coffee shop. Very passionately." Ryan groaned. "Please stop narrating my humiliation." Derek grinned. "Oh, we're just getting started." Emma chuckled, clearly enjoying the spectacle. "Don't worry, Ryan. I think it's admirable." Ryan blinked. "Admirable? Most people hide behind polite lies," Emma said, meeting his gaze. "You don't." Ryan felt something warm unfurl in his chest. Right before Maya stage whispered, if you don't ask her out again, I will." Ryan buried his face in his hands. This was going to be a long project. Chapter 4, Dinner Disaster. Ryan had spent the entire week oscillating between excitement and sheer terror. Asking Emma out had felt like jumping off a cliff, thrilling in theory, horrifying in practice. But somehow she'd said yes. Yes, as in sure, dinner sounds great. Yes, as in I'll meet you Friday at 7. Yes, as in Ryan, try not to implode before then. By Friday evening, Ryan was standing outside La Belle Table, a French bistro that Maya had insisted was romantic but not pretentious. He tugged at his collar, wondering if his shirt screamed I tried too hard. His internal monologue was a full-blown TED Talk on self-doubt. "Okay, Ryan, just be normal. Don't blurt anything weird. Don't mention tax brackets. Don't confess your existential dread over creme brulee." Emma arrived like a scene from a movie. Navy dress, hair swept back, smile that could power a small city. Ryan's brain promptly blue-screened. "Hi," she said warmly. "You look nice." Ryan's mouth betrayed him instantly. "You look like someone who knows the wine list by heart." Emma blinked, then laughed. "That's oddly specific." Ryan winced. "Sorry." Internal thought escaped. "Don't apologize," Emma said, amused. "It's charming." Ryan wasn't sure if charming was code for hopeless, but he'd take it. They were seated at a cozy corner table, candles flickering like tiny judgmental eyes. Ryan scanned the menu, trying to look sophisticated while internally Googling what coq au vin meant. "So," Emma said, resting her chin on her hand, "how was your week?" Ryan considered lying just a little to sound interesting, but honesty was his religion. Mostly spreadsheets, and one existential crisis about pivot tables. Emma laughed. "Sounds intense." "Yeah, I had to hydrate afterward," Ryan deadpanned, earning another laugh. He relaxed a fraction. Maybe he could do this. The waiter appeared, all elegance and French accent. "Bonsoir. May I take your order?" Ryan panicked. His brain offered two options, sound cultured or sound like himself. He chose chaos. "I'll have the chicken thing. The one that sounds like a spell." Emma bit her lip to stifle a laugh. "Coq au vin. Yes, that abracadabra chicken." The waiter's expression didn't change, which somehow made it worse. Ryan wanted to crawl under the table and live there forever. Emma ordered with effortless grace, then turned back to him, eyes twinkling. "You're funnier than you think." Ryan blinked. "Funnier or tragic?" "Both," she said, smiling. "In a good way." Halfway through dinner, Ryan's phone buzzed. He ignored it, but Emma noticed. "Friends checking in?" Ryan sighed. "Probably Maya and Derek. They've turned my love life into a spectator sport." Emma grinned. "Do they approve of me?" Ryan hesitated. "Maya does. Derek thinks I should play hard to get." Emma raised an eyebrow. "And what do you think?" Ryan shrugged. "I think games are for people who like lying. I'm terrible at lying." Emma studied him for a moment, then smiled softly. "I know." Ryan felt something shift, like the air had gone warmer, softer. He opened his mouth to say something profound, but what came out was, "You have really symmetrical eyebrows." Emma burst out laughing, nearly spilling her wine. "Ryan, you're impossible." "Sorry," he groaned. "Brain-to-mouth filter malfunction." "Don't fix it," she said, still laughing. "It's you." Ryan stared at her, heart doing somersaults. Maybe honesty wasn't such a curse after all. The evening ended with a walk under streetlights, conversation flowing like warm honey. When they reached Emma's car, Ryan hesitated. Should he kiss her? Shake hands? Salute? His brain was a battlefield of bad ideas. Emma solved it by leaning in and kissing his cheek. Soft, quick, but enough to short-circuit his nervous system. "Good night, Ryan," she said, smiling. "Good night," he managed, then added. Because of course he did. "Your car smells expensive." Emma laughed all the way into the driver's seat. Ryan watched her go, grinning like an idiot. Disaster? Maybe, but the best kind. Chapter 5: Truth Hurts and Helps. Ryan had never been more aware of his own mouth. It was like carrying a live grenade with the pin halfway out. One wrong move and boom, social disaster. Which was why, on Monday morning, he sat at his desk chanting silently. "Do not blurt. Do not blurt. Do not—" "Morning, Romeo." Maya's voice broke his mantra. She perched on his desk like a cat claiming territory. "So, how was the big date?" Ryan groaned. "Can we not?" "We can," Maya said sweetly. "But we won't." Derek appeared, grinning like a game show host. "Did you kiss her?" Ryan hesitated. "Cheek. Cheek." Derek clutched his chest dramatically. "Ryan, that's like the tutorial level." Ryan rolled his eyes. "It was nice." She laughed. "I didn't die. That's a win." Maya smirked. "And you didn't blurt anything catastrophic?" Ryan opened his mouth, then closed it. "Define catastrophic." Maya's grin widened. "Oh, this is going to be good." By lunchtime, Ryan had escaped to the break room, hoping for solitude. Instead, he found Emma, leaning against the counter, scrolling her phone. She looked up, smiled. "Hey, Ryan." Ryan's heart did a somersault. "Hey, coffee break." "Yep." She poured herself a cup, then added, "So, I had an interesting conversation this morning." Ryan froze. "Interesting how?" Emma tilted her head. "Janet mentioned you're the most honest analyst she's ever met." Ryan winced. "That sounds like a warning label." Emma laughed. "I told her I already knew." Ryan relaxed until Emma added casually, "Funny thing though, she also mentioned Derek asked if I was single." Ryan blinked. "He what?" Emma shrugged. "I told her yes," which apparently shocked him. Ryan's brain short-circuited. Why would Derek ask that? Is he trying to set me up? Or himself? Or, and then, because Ryan's mouth was a traitor, "Well, at least you're not still hung up on your ex." Emma's eyebrows shot up. "Excuse me?" Ryan's soul left his body for the third time this month. I didn't mean what I meant was, statistically most people," he flailed, words crashing like dominoes. "I just assumed you weren't, you know, emotionally unavailable." Emma stared at him, lips twitching like she was deciding between laughing and throwing her coffee. "Ryan, that's bold." Ryan groaned. "I'm sorry." Internal thought escaped. Emma set down her cup, amused despite herself. "You really don't filter, do you?" Ryan shook his head miserably. "Nope. Honesty policy. It's a curse." Emma smiled faintly. "It's something." The misunderstanding might have ended there, except Maya and Derek chose that exact moment to burst in like sitcom extras. "Emma." Maya beamed. "So glad you're here. We were just talking about Ryan's dating philosophy." Ryan closed his eyes. "Please don't." Derek grinned. "He thinks lying is disrespect, which means he's basically allergic to white lies." Emma chuckled. "I've noticed." Maya leaned in conspiratorially. "So, Emma, any deal breakers we should know about? Just so Ryan doesn't accidentally implode." Ryan groaned. "Maya." Emma laughed, shaking her head. "I think I can handle him." Ryan blinked. "You can." Emma met his gaze, eyes warm. "As long as you don't start blurting about my tax bracket." Ryan smiled sheepishly. "Noted." Later, alone at his desk, Ryan replayed the moment like a bad movie. He'd basically accused her of being over her ex, out loud. And yet, she hadn't stormed off. She'd laughed. Maybe honesty wasn't a total disaster. Maybe, just maybe, it was his superpower. Or his kryptonite. Time would tell. Chapter 6: Ryan versus Romance Tropes. Ryan had never felt more like a fraud. He sat at his desk Thursday morning, staring at his phone like it was a ticking bomb. Derek's voice echoed in his head. "Play hard to get, man. Mystery is sexy. Don't text her first. Wait at least 3 days." 3 days. Ryan had lasted 3 hours. Now he was drafting a message to Emma for the 5th time, deleting each attempt because they all sounded like confessions from a hostage situation. "Hey, had fun at dinner." Delete. "So, do you like dogs?" Delete. "Your eyebrows are still symmetrical." Delete, delete, delete. Maya appeared like a benevolent spirit, holding a coffee cup. "You look constipated." Ryan groaned. "I'm trying to follow Derek's advice." Maya snorted. "Oh God, what did he say?" "Play hard to get." Maya laughed so hard she nearly spilled her coffee. "Ryan, you couldn't play hard to get if you were locked in a vault." Ryan sighed. "I know, but maybe mystery is good." "Not for you," Maya said, patting his shoulder. "Your brand is radical honesty. Own it." Ryan stared at his phone. "So, text her?" "Yes," Maya said firmly. "Before Derek ruins your life." By lunchtime, Ryan had caved. He texted Emma. "Ryan, hey, hope your day's going well. I was thinking, Maybe coffee this weekend? He hit send, then immediately regretted not adding a joke. Or deleting his entire existence. Emma replied 5 minutes later. Emma, coffee sounds great. Saturday? Ryan grinned like an idiot. Mystery 0. Success 1. Saturday arrived, and Ryan was determined to be cool. Derek's voice haunted him. Don't overshare. Keep it smooth. Compliment her, but not too much. Ryan lasted exactly 10 minutes before blurting, "You smell like competence." Emma blinked, then laughed. That's new. Ryan winced. Sorry. Internal thought. Escaped. Emma smiled. I'm starting to like your escapes. Ryan relaxed, until Derek's next piece of advice popped into his head. Make her jealous. Mention other women. Ryan cleared his throat. So, Maya says hi. Emma raised an eyebrow. Maya. She's a friend. Coworker. Very stylish. Ryan cringed internally. Abort mission. Abort. Emma chuckled. Ryan, are you trying to make me jealous? Ryan groaned. Yes, and failing spectacularly. Emma laughed so hard she nearly spilled her latte. You're ridiculous. Ryan grinned sheepishly. I warned you. Emma shook her head, still smiling. You know what? I like ridiculous. Ryan blinked. You do. Emma met his gaze, eyes warm. It's honest. And honestly, that's rare. Ryan felt something shift, like the ground had stopped wobbling. Maybe Derek's advice was garbage. Maybe Maya was right. Maybe honesty wasn't just his curse, it was his edge. As they walked out, Ryan's phone buzzed. Group chat. Derek. Did you play hard to get? Ryan, no. Played hard to function. Maya. And? Ryan. She laughed. A lot. Maya told you. Honesty wins. Ryan smiled, slipping his phone into his pocket. For once, he believed it. Chapter 7, The Big Reveal. Ryan had always assumed plot twists were for movies, not his life. But as he walked into the office Monday morning, coffee in hand and optimism cautiously intact, fate decided to prove him wrong. Emma was already there, perched at the conference table with her laptop open, typing furiously. She looked focused, elegant, and, if Ryan was honest, slightly intimidating. He hesitated at the doorway, debating whether to say something clever or just wave like a socially awkward meerkat. Before he could decide, Maya materialized at his elbow like a gossip fairy. Morning, Ree. Guess what? Ryan groaned. If this involves Derek's dating advice, I'm filing a restraining order. Maya smirked. Better. Emma's writing a book. Ryan blinked. A book? Yep. Maya leaned in conspiratorially. On modern dating. And honesty. Ryan's brain short-circuited. Honesty? As in, my entire personality? He stared at Emma, who was now scrolling through what looked suspiciously like a manuscript draft. Are you sure? Ryan whispered. Maya grinned. Positive. Derek overheard her talking to Janet. Something about case studies. Ryan felt his stomach drop. Case studies? Oh no. Oh no no no. His internal monologue was now a full-blown panic siren. What if I'm a case study? What if this whole thing is research? And then, because Ryan's mouth was a traitor, am I in your book? The words shot across the room like a rogue firework. Emma looked up, startled and then amused. Wow. Direct. Ryan winced. Sorry. Internal thought. Escaped. Emma closed her laptop slowly, her smile unreadable. You might be. Ryan's soul left his body for the 4th time this month. Might be. Emma tilted her head. You're fascinating, Ryan. Your honesty policy? It's rare. People talk about wanting honesty, but you actually live it. Ryan swallowed hard. So what? I'm a science experiment. Emma laughed softly. Not an experiment. More like inspiration. Ryan stared at her, torn between flattery and existential dread. Inspiration sounds better than specimen. Emma smiled. Good, 'cause I like spending time with you. Book or no book? Ryan blinked. You do. Emma met his gaze, eyes warm. Yes, but if it bothers you, I'll keep you out of it. Ryan hesitated. His brain was a battlefield. She likes you, but she's writing about you. But she likes you. He exhaled slowly. I don't know how I feel yet. Emma nodded, calm as ever. Fair. Take your time. Later, at his desk, Ryan stared at his monitor, pretending to work while his thoughts spiraled. Maya popped up like a jack-in-the-box. So? What did she say? Ryan groaned. She said I might be in her book. Maya's eyes widened. That's kind of cool? Ryan shook his head. Cool? Maya, I'm basically a walking footnote. Derek appeared, grinning. Hey, at least you'll be famous. Ryan buried his face in his hands. Fame was the last thing he wanted. He just wanted Emma, minus the bibliography. That night, Ryan lay in bed, staring at the ceiling. His honesty had always been his anchor, but now, felt like a spotlight. Was Emma genuinely interested in him, or just his philosophy? And if it was both, could he live with that? He sighed, muttering to the darkness. You didn't want me at my worst, so you don't get me at my best. Then, louder than intended. And apparently, my worst is chapter 3. The fern in the corner looked unimpressed. Chapter 8, Honesty Overdrive. Ryan had rehearsed the conversation a dozen times in his head. Each version ended with him sounding calm, rational, and maybe even charming. Reality, of course, had other plans. By Thursday afternoon, he found Emma in the break room, pouring tea like someone who had never caused an existential crisis in her life. Ryan took a deep breath, squared his shoulders, and walked in. "Hey," he said, voice tight. Emma looked up, smiling. "Hey, Ryan." Ryan's internal monologue screamed, "Abort mission. Abort." But his mouth, as usual, ignored the memo. "So, about your book." Emma blinked, then set down her mug. "You've been thinking about it." Ryan laughed, sharp, nervous. "Thinking? More like spiraling. I've imagined myself as a footnote, a cautionary tale, and possibly a meme." Emma tilted her head, calm as ever. "Ryan." "No, let me finish," Ryan said, hands gesturing wildly. "I like you. A lot. But if this is just research, then I'm basically dating a bibliography." Emma's lips twitched like she was suppressing a laugh. "A bibliography?" "Yes." Ryan threw his hands up. "I'm not a case study. I'm a person. A clumsy, blurting, occasionally catastrophic person, but still a person." Emma set her mug aside, her expression softening. "Ryan, you're not just research." Ryan narrowed his eyes. "Not just? That implies, partly." Emma sighed, stepping closer. "Okay, yes. When we met, I was curious. You're different. Most people say they value honesty, but you actually live it. That's rare." Ryan crossed his arms. "So what? You thought, great, I'll date him and take notes." Emma winced. "It wasn't like that." Ryan's voice rose, not in anger but in sheer frustration. "Emma, my whole thing, my entire philosophy is that honesty equals respect. If someone lies to me, they don't respect me. And if you're not honest about why you're here." Emma met his gaze steady. "I am being honest. I started this because of the book. But I kept seeing you because I wanted to. Because I like you." Ryan froze. His brain scrambled for a comeback, but all it found was static. "You, like me." Emma smiled faintly. "Yes, even when you blurt things like, bibliography." Ryan stared at her, heart pounding. "So, I'm not just a chapter." Emma shook her head. "You're the reason I might not finish the book." Ryan blinked. "Wait, what?" Emma stepped closer, her voice soft. "Because I don't want to analyze you anymore. I just want to be with you." Ryan's internal monologue exploded into fireworks. He opened his mouth to say something profound, and instead blurted, "You smell like trust." Emma laughed so hard she nearly spilled her tea. "Ryan, you're impossible." Ryan grinned sheepishly. "But honest." Emma smiled, eyes warm. "And that's why I'm here." Later, Ryan sat at his desk, replaying the moment like a highlight reel. Maya popped up, grinning. "So, did you confront her?" Ryan smirked. "Yeah, and I didn't die." Derek leaned over the cubicle wall. "Did you use my advice?" Ryan chuckled. "No, I used mine." Maya grinned. "And?" Ryan smiled, feeling lighter than he had in weeks. Honesty wins. Chapter 9, The Grand Gesture. Ryan had never planned a grand gesture before, mostly because his idea of romance usually involved not spilling food on himself. But after the break room showdown, he knew he had to do something. Something that said, "I'm serious about you, Emma. Not your book. You." So naturally, he decided to organize a surprise dinner. In theory, it was simple. Book a nice restaurant, show up with flowers, say something heartfelt. In practice, Ryan was Ryan. By Friday afternoon, his desk looked like a florist had exploded. Maya leaned against his cubicle, smirking. "Wow, going big." Ryan groaned. "Is this too much?" Maya eyed the bouquet, a chaotic mix of roses, lilies, and something that looked suspiciously like parsley. "Depends. Are you proposing or catering?" Ryan buried his face in his hands. "I just want it to look romantic." Maya said gently. "Romance isn't about quantity. It's about meaning." Ryan peeked through his fingers. "Meaning? Yeah." Maya smiled. "Say something honest. That's your superpower." Ryan nodded slowly. Honest. He could do honest. Probably. The plan was set. Emma would meet him at La Belle table at 7. Ryan arrived early, clutching the bouquet like a life raft. He'd even reserved the same corner table from their first date because symbolism mattered, right? He rehearsed his speech under his breath. "Emma, I like you. Not because you're writing a book, but because you make me laugh when I want to panic. Because you don't run when I blurt things like bibliography. Because you smell like trust." Okay, maybe cut that part. He was mid-rehearsal when disaster struck. The waiter approached, elegant and unbothered. "Bonsoir, monsieur. May I take your coat?" Ryan stood, juggling flowers, coat, and his phone, and promptly knocked over the water glass. It cascaded across the table like a tiny tsunami, soaking the linen and his speech notes. "Perfect," Ryan muttered. "Just perfect." The waiter vanished to fetch towels. Ryan dabbed at the mess with napkins, praying Emma wouldn't walk in yet. Naturally, she did. Emma appeared in the doorway, radiant in a soft green dress. Ryan froze, dripping napkin in hand, looking like a man caught in a crime scene. "Hi," Emma said, amused. "Should I come back later?" Ryan groaned. "No, please, sit. Pretend this is performance art." Emma laughed, sliding into the chair. "You're adorable when you panic." Ryan dropped the napkin, took a deep breath, and decided to abandon perfection. Honesty, Maya had said. That was his edge. "Emma," he began, voice shaky but determined. "I planned this because I wanted to show you something. Not flowers or fancy food, though those are here too, but me, the real me. The guy who blurts things and knocks over water and still thinks you're amazing." Emma's smile softened. "Ryan," he pressed on, words tumbling like dominoes. "I don't care about the book. Care about you. Because you make me feel like honesty isn't a flaw. It's something good." Emma's eyes glistened, and for a terrifying second, Ryan thought she might cry. Instead, she reached across the table, taking his hand. "That," she said softly, "was perfect." Ryan blinked. "Even the water disaster?" Emma laughed. "Especially the water disaster." Dinner was a blur of laughter and warmth. No speeches, no scripts, just two people talking like they'd known each other forever. When they stepped outside under the streetlights, Ryan felt lighter than he had in years. Emma turned to him, smiling. "You know, Ryan, you're the grand gesture." Ryan blinked. "Me?" Emma nodded. "Because you're honest, and that's rare." Ryan grinned, heart doing somersaults. "So, does this mean I get a second cheek kiss?" Emma laughed, and kissed him on the lips instead. Ryan's internal monologue screamed victory, but all he said was, "Wow." Emma smiled. "Wow, indeed." Chapter 10 Blurred lines, clear hearts. Ryan had never walked into the office with a smile that big. It was the kind of grin that made people suspicious, like he'd either won the lottery or joined a cult. Maya spotted him instantly. Well, she said, leaning against his cubicle with a smirk. "Someone looks smug." Ryan shrugged, trying for casual and failing spectacularly. "What? No, just good mood." Derek popped up like a jack-in-the-box. Translation: he kissed her. Ryan groaned. "Can we not turn my personal life into a TED Talk?" Maya grinned. "Too late. Spill." Ryan hesitated, then admitted, "Dinner went great. We talked. We laughed. She kissed me." Derek fist-pumped like he'd scored a touchdown. "My boy." Maya rolled her eyes. "Please." He ignored all your advice. Ryan chuckled. "True. Turns out honesty beats mystery." Maya smiled warmly. "Told you." By mid-morning, Emma arrived for her last day as a consultant. She looked radiant, as always, and Ryan's heart did its usual gymnastics. They exchanged a smile across the room. A quiet, private thing that made Ryan forget spreadsheets existed. Later, as the team gathered for a farewell coffee, Janet gave a polite speech about Emma's contributions. Ryan stood beside her, trying not to look like a lovesick teenager. When Janet finished, Emma turned to Ryan. "So," she said softly, "what happens now?" Ryan blinked. "Now?" Emma smiled. "I'm done here. No more project. No more book." Ryan swallowed hard. "Does that mean?" Emma tilted her head. "It means I'm not leaving you behind." Ryan's chest felt like it might burst. He wanted to say something perfect, something romantic and profound. Instead, his mouth betrayed him one last time. "You smell like forever." The room went silent. Maya choked on her coffee. Derek looked like Christmas had come early. Emma stared at Ryan, then laughed, bright and warm. "Ryan, you're impossible." Ryan grinned sheepishly. "But honest." Emma stepped closer, eyes sparkling. "And that's why I'm staying." The office erupted in cheers and teasing. Maya hugged him, whispering, "You're ridiculous, but I'm proud." Derek demanded a play-by-play. Janet even cracked a smile, which was basically a solar eclipse. Ryan didn't care. He had Emma's hand in his, and for once, his blurts didn't feel like flaws. They felt like truth, the kind that mattered. As they walked out together, Ryan muttered under his breath, "Best resolution ever." Emma squeezed his hand. Agreed. And for the first time in years, Ryan believed it. Chapter 11 Double Date Disaster. Ryan had agreed to the double date because Maya insisted it would be fun. Fun, apparently, meant dinner with Maya and Derek at a trendy fusion restaurant where the menu looked like a cryptic crossword puzzle. Ryan sat beside Emma, scanning the options. "What's a deconstructed taco experience?" Emma smirked. "Probably a plate of sadness." Maya grinned. "It's art, Ryan. Embrace it." Derek leaned back, smug. "This is where the cool people eat." Ryan muttered, "Cool people and masochists." Emma laughed, squeezing his hand under the table. Ryan relaxed until the waiter arrived and Derek decided to order in Spanish. Bad Spanish. "Dos, tacos grande, por favor mucho," Derek said, rolling his R's like a lawnmower. Ryan buried his face in his hands. "We're going to get banned." The evening spiraled from there. Maya accidentally knocked over a candle. Ryan blurted, "This feels like a reality show." And Emma laughed so hard she cried. By dessert, Ryan realized something. Chaos was better with Emma beside him. Chapter 12. Meet the parents and panic. Emma invited Ryan to brunch with her parents. Ryan spent the entire morning rehearsing polite phrases and Googling how to impress sophisticated people. He even wore a blazer which felt like a costume. The moment he walked in, Emma's dad eyed him like a customs officer. "So, Ryan, what do you do?" Ryan smiled nervously. "I analyze data, and occasionally my life choices." Emma's mom chuckled. "Honest." Ryan nodded. "Always. Sometimes too much." He managed small talk until the topic of marriage came up. Ryan's internal monologue screamed, "Don't panic, don't panic," and then his mouth betrayed him. "I'd marry Emma tomorrow if she asked." The room froze. Emma blinked. Her parents stared. Ryan considered faking a medical emergency. Then Emma laughed, warm and bright. "Good to know." Her parents smiled, tension dissolving. Ryan exhaled, silently thanking the universe for not striking him down. Chapter 13 Epilogue. Blurting happily ever after 6 months later, Ryan stood in his apartment, staring at Emma as she unpacked a box of books. They decided to move in together, a decision that felt terrifying and perfect all at once. "You know," Emma said, smiling, "I never finished that book." Ryan grinned. "Because of me?" Emma nodded. "Because of us." Ryan stepped closer, heart full. "Good. I'd rather be your story than your research." Emma kissed him, soft and certain. "You already are." Ryan smiled, then blurted, because of course he did, "You smell like home." Emma laughed, wrapping her arms around him. "And you smell like honesty." Ryan grinned. Best compliment ever. And just like that, the man who thought honesty was his curse realized it was his happily ever after. Epilogue. The bet. Maya and Derek sat in the office break room, sipping coffee like two conspirators plotting world domination. A small jar sat between them, stuffed with bills and coins. "Okay," Maya said, tapping the jar. "Deadline's 6 months from now. If Ryan proposes before then, I win." Derek smirked. "And if he doesn't, I win. Easy money." Maya rolled her eyes. "You underestimate the power of love and Ryan's inability to keep secrets." As if on cue, Ryan walked in, humming like a man who had never known despair. Emma followed, carrying a box of donuts. They looked disgustingly happy. "Morning," Ryan said, grinning. "Guess what?" Maya and Derek exchanged a glance. Maya whispered, "Here it comes." Ryan held up a small velvet box, then froze, realizing what he'd done. Pretend you didn't see that." Emma laughed, kissing his cheek. "Too late." Maya grinned like a cat with cream. "Pay up, Derek." Derek groaned, tossing a 20 into the jar. "Fine. But I want front row seats to the wedding." Ryan shook his head, laughing. "You two are unbelievable." Maya winked. "And you're predictable." Ryan smiled, slipping the box back into his pocket. "Maybe, but at least I'm honest." Emma squeezed his hand, eyes sparkling. "Always."